we're just going to start right away in a tabletop position. So what we're working with as we go through this sequence is not necessarily the flow of one thing into the next like we would do in normally a class, but more so about how we can use the reciprocal inhibition natural reflex of the body in order to be able to create openings through the thighs and the hip flexors. So that involves the hamstrings, using the activation of the hamstrings to open the thighs, and using the activation of the glutes to open up through the hip flexors. So we're going to be working with those things today. So right away we'll start into a tabletop position. If wrists are not feeling warmed up, feel free to do it on the fists. Feel free to do it on the fingertips, or you can have blocks and wrap the fingers around the edges of the blocks if that works better for you. Otherwise, hands, palms flat. So we're just going to take one leg up. It doesn't matter which one you want. And we're going to come into this kind of donkey kick position. So the sole of the foot is facing up. And we're going to pump the heel up towards the ceiling 10 times. So we're going to pump it up 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then we'll straighten the leg and point the toe, and we'll do the same thing with the leg straight, 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, push hands. 7, 6, kick down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Let the knee lower down. We'll come into the other side. From here, we'll now take the opposite leg back. Doesn't matter which one. Donkey kick the heel, the sole of the foot facing up towards the ceiling. Make sure when you kick, the leg doesn't straighten, but it stays in this shape. Kick it up for 10 and 9, 8, doesn't have to be high. 7, just enough to feel it's active. 6, 5, 4, keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Then straighten the leg, point the toes. The leg is long behind you. Lift it up. 10. Try not to externally rotate. 9. That means that you keep the kneecap facing down. 8. Keep going. 7. 6. The sole of the foot faces the ceiling. 5. Toes pointed. 4. Back of the thigh faces up. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Then from there, lower the knees. Okay, so now we're ready to take one foot in between the hands. So from here, we're just going to be stepping. Let's go with the right foot. It's going to come in between the hands, okay? And we're going to come all the way up. If you need some cushion, take time to roll the mat or place a towel or something like that underneath. Right foot is in front. You're balancing on the left leg. And we're going to take these pelvic tilts. So when we tilt the pelvis back from here, we're actually shortening the hip flexor and where it comes around and attaches to the spine. We're shortening the distance between those 2 points. What we want to do is lengthen it. Then you're going to drop the tail down like you have a tail that's curling through between your legs and scoop the pubic bone up. Do 4 more like that. Tail back, scoop it forward and up. From the side, tail back, scoop it forward and up. Tail back, scoop forward and up. Tail back, scoop forward and up. Now hold here. Squeeze into your butt cheek of your back leg. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Holding here for 3. Relax the shoulders, squeezing 2 and 1. Good. Then we'll swap legs. So all you need to do is just take the opposite foot in front. So right now it's your left foot in front. Tilt the tail back. It's like you're trying to stick the tail up. Then, like a dog, bringing the tail between its legs. Shoom, scoops forward and up. 4 more. Back and up. Back and up. Back and up. I think this is the last one. Back and up. Now hold. Now squeeze into your back bum cheek. So this will be your right leg. Squeeze that bum cheek. Holding 3. Relax shoulders. Breathe. 2. Squeezing into that. 1. Step the knee back. You're into tabletop again. Let's take 1 round of cat-cow. So breathing in, looking up. Fill the lungs. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck your chin in towards your chest, empty out the lungs. Let's actually go 1 more. Inhale, belly long. Looking up. Exhale, round the spine. chin into the chest. Okay, neutral spine. Let's come all the way up onto the knees. Again, if you need cushioning, roll your mat. Get a little towel underneath, and we're going to do the same pelvic tilts that we just did, okay? So let's do 10 of these. We're going to bring it back, and then we're going to drop the tail down and scoop the pubic bone up. Then it goes back and up. So it's like it's almost like flossing, I guess. So tail is up, and then pulling the pubic bone up. Tail goes up, pubic bone goes down, pubic bone goes up, tail goes down. So we'll keep going like that for another 5 and 4, squeeze butt, and 3, squeeze tush, and 2 and 1. Good. Then from here, keep this squeeze. Squeeze glutes, tuck the chin to the chest, round and curl the spine, pausing there. Hold just the chin, then add the shoulders. Keep the pubic bone squeezing up towards the chin, the chest. Hold, 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 squeeze. So we're using the back body muscles through the glutes and the hamstrings to open through the tops of the thighs. Inhale, release, coming all the way up. Okay, let's again take the right foot forward towards the top of the mat. So we're going to take now our open arms out to the sides. Okay, this is really important, this structure here, because what we typically tend to do is when we stretch the hip flexor, we come forward. But all we're doing is shortening the space between here and here, where this attaches around. We want to lengthen that. So first, we come back to neutral. We stack hip over knee. This front right foot pulls in a little bit, and then you go from this is our little flossing action, to scooping it. Now hold that. Open arms, lift chin, exhale, chin to chest, arms come forward, palms connect. Do it again. Inhale, open, exhale, chin to chest, round forward, palms connect. Last one. Inhale, open, exhale, chin to chest, hold here. Interlock your 10 fingers. Keep your chin into your chest, look into your chest, look into your belly. Now the deeper you look into your chest, the more you'll feel it in the front of this left hip flexor. Now squeeze your left butt cheek. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Pull your ribs back, stretch your fist forward, keep your chin dipped down. Don't shift your body weight. When you look down, you should be able to see your left thigh and maybe your left knee. Push your front foot down, hold 3, squeeze glute, 2, 1. Inhale, go up. Exhale. Let the arms relax. Okay, swapping sides. So this time taking the left foot forward. And from here, we'll have the arms open up. Let's just be conscious of where the body weight is. We're not forward, we're shifted back. So when we look down, we see the right thigh. We see down to the mat. Rather than if we're forward, we can't see the thigh. So pull back, push down front left foot, open arms, little flossing, the pubic bone goes down, then the pubic bone pulls up. Open, lift chin, exhale, round, pull the ribs back, inhale, open up. Exhale, round, pull the ribs back, inhale, open, and again, exhale, round, pause here. Interlock your fingers, make a fist. If you're looking at the mat, look up at your pubic bone. If you're looking at your pubic bone, look in your belly. If you're looking in your belly, look in your chest. Yeah, good. Pull your ribs back, breathe. No need to suck the stomach in. All you gotta do is stretch your fist forward and scoop your pubic bone up. That will give you enough activation in the abdomen. Kick down through the back leg, push down through the front foot, and squeeze into your right butt cheek. 3, scooping pubic bone up. 2, pulling ribs back as you reach the fist forward. 1, inhale, come up. Exhale, let the arms relax. Onto the knees. Come into a kneeling position. Just take a child's pose of your choice for a couple of breaths here. You can allow the knees to be open. Arms can come forward, chest is down, head is down. You can also have the knees together, maybe resting on the elbows. Just any variety that you would like for a couple breaths here. Staying in the body. Feeling that relaxation. Okay, let's slowly uncurl to come all the way up. We're just gonna come up to standing. Doesn't matter how you get there, however you would like to, standing all the way up onto your feet. So finding a comfortable position for the feet to stand in, we're gonna start by shifting the weight to the left leg and squeezing the right heel into the buttocks. So from the side here, we can take the hands on the hips or hands into prayer. We're gonna kick the right heel into the buttocks for 5. So kick it in 5, tap the toe down. Kick it in 4, tap the toe down. Kick it in 3, tap the toe down. Kick it in 2, tap the toe down. Kick it in 1. Now hold there. Now it's the same activity when we did our flossing on the ground. You want to make sure that in this position your tail is not sticking back and up, because this again is shortening the space in the front of the body. So we've got to lengthen the space in the back of the body, actively use the hamstring, the glute, to open the front of the thigh, hold, kick, 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 heel into butt. And at the end, if you want to reach around and grab, then you can create a little bit of a pull. Make sure your thigh doesn't come forward and your spine rounds. Keep your thighs as in alignment as you can, or kicking back without letting your tail stick up. So in other words, you're trying to scoop your pubic bone up, drop your tailbone down as you gently draw the leg in. We're going to stabilize the leg, so slowly let go. Keep the heel squeezed in, palms come together, and then we'll let the foot relax down. A little shake on the opposite leg if you need to. We'll come into the other side. Shifting the weight into the right leg, a little bend in the right knee. Hands, palms can be in prayer, hands on hips. Kick the heel in towards the buttocks, and we'll do that 5 times. So tap the toe down, and 5. Tap the toe down, 4. Tap the toe down, 3. Tap the toe down, watch your knees not going out to the side, 2. Tap the toe down, squeeze in, 1. Hold there. So you want to think of almost squeezing your inner thighs together, especially this back knee. It might have a tendency to angle out, squeeze it in so you can really target the hamstring doing the work. Pausing here, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. So you might notice one side, the pelvis wants to tilt a little bit more than the other. Try to keep pubic bone pulling up. Breathe and soft shoulders. Okay, you can reach the hands back if you would like to, grabbing onto the ankle. I like to keep my foot flexed. You can point your toe, that's up to you. Now when you've got the foot, you have the chance to drop your tailbone down more and pull your pubic bone up more. Holding here. Good. Okay, we'll slowly stabilize the leg, release it, keep it there, bring the hands, palms together. Let the foot lower down, give it a little bit of a shake in your legs, and we're gonna come into some more kneel movement. So we're gonna take the right foot forward, the left leg back, and you're just gonna lower down onto the knee. So from here, again, cushioning can work really well. How can we add even more to this rounded shape that we created? We're gonna now add a twist. So again, creating more distance between whatever's happening here and whatever's happening in the back of the body and how that muscle wraps all the way around. So we'll start first with our flossing. Tail goes back, then jom, scoop it up. From here, we're gonna allow the body to turn towards your right. So the right hand palm is gonna go onto the lower back. Yeah, right hand palm onto the lower back as the pubic bone scoops up. Let's inhale, reach the arm up high. Pause there. So feel from your left knee to your left hand, stretching. Opposite directions. That left knee is trying to go down more. That left hand is trying to reach up more. The right hand palm is around the back. Reach. Opposite directions. You can look to your back foot if you want. Now notice how my bum's not going back, yeah? I went from here to here. Squeeze into that back bum cheek. Keep reaching, reaching, reaching. Then from here, place the hand on the outside of the leg and twist. Keep the pubic bone scooping under. Look back and twist. Look back and twist. Notice how I'm not doing this. Keep it under. Look back and twist. Good. Then look forward. Release the arm to reach long. Bring the palms into prayer. And we'll just swap legs from here. So opposite leg, left foot is gonna come forward. So you might also be feeling that the thigh muscles are being used quite a bit in these kneeling positions. And that's okay, we're going from contraction to release, but we're also combining that with the contraction of the opposing muscle so that when we finally get into some of these deeper postures that we're gonna do at the end, the body's much more ready. So from here, make sure your tailbone is not staying back, it scoops up. That's it, good. And we're gonna open and twist over. So taking the back left hand, placing that onto the lower back, and you come into your twist. So from here, you might like to have the arm reaching forward and long as you twist, or you might like to reach it up high. This gives us a little bit more energy to feel how you can kick down and reach up at the same time. Squeeze into your right buttocks. And try not to sink forward into your lumbar spine. Pull back, push the front foot down, kick down through the back right leg, reach the right arm high, look back to your foot twist. Holding here. Good, and then from there, looking forward, lowering the hand down to the outside of the leg. Then you can use that to give you even more twist. But again, keeping that pubic bone scoop forward, squeezing into your right glute. Looking back through the twist. Take last breath here. Okay, turning and looking forward, reach it through, and then we'll bring the palms together. From here, we're gonna stand up, top of the mat, shake it out, shake the legs. Okay, so we've done that standing quadricep stretch. And now we're going to actually grab with one hand and give a kick to feel into the thigh opening with a bit of force, all right? So we'll take first, balancing on the left leg, bend into the left knee. The right hand palm is gonna reach out. Now typically we're doing this with the palm facing out, so when you grab the inside of your ankle, okay? So if you're not able to get to that point, you can round forward, hook around the shin, walk the hand back. Maybe that's enough for you. Maybe that's where you try and stand up tall. If you can go further, walk the hand. Maybe you pause at the outside of the thigh. If you want to go further, you can wrap it around. Grab from the inside. Whichever you do is fine. Also, you can do open chain. You don't have to grab. That's fine too. Take the arm up, nice and high, left fingertips reaching to the ceiling. All you're gonna do is floss, so tail goes back, and then pubic bone scoops forward and up. Then you're gonna kick your leg a little bit into your hand and reach up high, lifting your gaze just above your eye level. Touch the ceiling. Kick into your hand. Keep kicking and using the glute. You can flex the back toes or point them, up to you. Keep kicking. Allow your right shoulder to go back. Allow your left shoulder to come up. Keep that tailbone dropping down. Let's stabilize it by letting go of the leg, palms in prayer, and lower the foot down. Okay, shake it out, and we'll come into the other side. Shifting the weight onto the right leg, a little bend into the right knee, and from here, we can turn the left hand palm out. Again, so you can reach back. You can grab the inside at the ankle, toes pointed or flexed. Each will have its sort of benefits, okay? Also, you can grab the outside of the foot or open chain, no problem. So from here, take the right arm all the way up. Reach it nice and high. We'll floss again. Tail back, then tail down, pubic bone up. Reach up, kick a little bit back. You might not go very far, that's not the point. The point is that we're creating more length in the front of the body. Reach high, left shoulder down with the kick, right shoulder up with the stretch. Take your eyes just a little bit above eye level. 3, squeezing glutes. 2, kicking into the hand. 1, stabilize the foot, let it go, hands in prayer, and then the feet come together. Shake the legs out. Okay, nice work, you guys. Let's take the right foot to the top of the mat, down onto the left knee, and we're gonna finish with more of a full twist here before we finish up. okay? Now this last thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure that we really keep that scoop forward. So we're gonna start the same way that we did last time. Take the back arm, open it up as you twist over towards your right hand palm on the lower back. Let's reach the arm up nice and high. This time we're gonna look up to the ceiling, and as you exhale, keep the pubic bone scooped forward. You're gonna try and pull your elbow towards the right hip. Okay, pull your elbow towards the right hip. Now don't let your tail go back. Keep pulling your elbow towards the right hip. You can allow your arm to release and stretch down, but if this feels more powerful for you, this is like a superhero pose. Pulling the elbow down, squeeze into your left butt cheek. Drop your head and turn your gaze to your back toes. Holding here, elbow squeezes in. Good, inhale, reach up high. Exhale, let it lower down, swap legs. Bringing one foot forward, so this time you have your left foot forward in front of you. Open up the left arm, reach it back, hand onto the lower back. Check with your flossing, you're going back. You know the difference. You're going up. You're staying in that up position. Squeeze. Right bum cheek. Let's inhale, reach up high. Exhale, pull the elbow down towards the left hip. You can look back towards the foot. Keep a squeeze into the glute of the back leg. Holding here. Keep your toes spread of your front foot. Pull the elbow down. Inhale, go up. Exhale. Let it relax. Okay, so we're gonna do the final one with the twist to open the hip flexor. Let's take the right foot forward again. Now with this twist, probably you're typically used to coming down and resting the body on the thigh. So you can see here from the side where I rest and I don't have any lift here. That means my tail's going back. What we want to do, scoop it under, have space here. Then we are going to come into our twist, okay? So right foot forward on the left knee. This time hands, palms into prayer. Inhale, we'll take both arms up, reach high. Exhale, twist and turn over towards your right, palms into prayer position. Do that one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, twist over towards your right. Now, you're gonna take the elbow of the left arm and you're gonna reach it either on top of, depending on your body, or it's gonna go on the outside. Now, if the only way you can place it on the outside is if you let your bum go back, then you know maybe you need to do a little less in your depth. Keep your pubic bone scooped forward, so the elbow's reaching to the outside of the leg. You can continue to look down. Scoop that forward, then you can use the elbow to twist. Push your front right knee into your outside left elbow. Keep scooping forward. Lift the chest. Keep space between the belly and the thigh. Not because you're sucking the belly in, but because you're scooping the pubic bone forward. Okay, looking down. Inhale, lift all the way up. Arms relax, come into the last side of this. Taking the left foot forward, from here, you take that floss so it goes back. Pubic bone scoops up, squeeze into the back bum cheek, hands, palms into prayer. Let's inhale, we'll go up. Exhale, twist over towards, that feels good, your left. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, twist to the left. And from here, you can look down. Either elbow stacks on top of thigh, elbow can go to the outside of the thigh, but not letting the bum go back. Keep the tail tucked underneath, then you can use your elbow against the knee to come into your twist. So remember, because the priority is we're stretching through the hip flexor, okay, and we're trying to create a little bit more space. If we let this go, we'll lose that. So keep the pubic bone scooping forward, and the twist will come secondary to that. Holding here. Push down through the front foot as you twist. Good, and then we'll look down. Slowly remove the elbow from the thigh. Come through center. Good. Onto the knees. And letting the bum drop down. Nice. Let's take a few moments, a few breaths in a child's pose. You can drop the head, have the arms forward, wide, narrow, elbows bent, arms back. Knees wide, knees together. Up to you. It's your choice. Just staying for a few more breaths. So we're coming into the last couple of things here. So we're just going to let the body slowly come up out of the child's pose. Swing the legs around to the front of the mat. And just lay down on your back any way that feels good for you. We're going to come into a little bit of bridge work, again, to use the glutes to create opening into the hip flexors. So we'll allow the hands, palms to come flat down. And from here, scoop the pubic bone up towards the belly button. Now this is different than lifting the chest or the belly. We're not looking to lift the chest or the belly. We're looking to just simply scoop the pubic bone towards the belly button. So this means there's a little bit of space now between the flesh of your bum and the mat, but it's different, and if you're not quite sure, you can just have a look. So this movement that I'm doing right now is different than this. Here I'm using my back muscles. Here I'm using my glute muscles. Okay, so we really want to use the glutes to be able to create opening in the thighs. And then see if you can just come up a little bit more, but don't lift because the belly lifts. Lift because the pubic bone is striving to curl in more. Again, if you're not so sure, you can have a look here. This is kind of more of what we're going for. I'm lifting via the pubic bone versus if I were to lift via the belly. That's different. And this will be the last height, still keeping the same way of lift that you might come up, really trying to be aware of not lifting into the chest or the belly. 3, breathing. 2, and 1. Slowly, slowly, slowly curl down. Let out that big sigh, and any way that you can get there, we'll come back up to a seated position. Okay, so we're going to take our single leg quadriceps stretch here. So let's start with the right leg. Now, if you need something to sit on, if this is really quite challenging for you, a block does a really good job of supporting you, either under the opposite buttocks or maybe both. It really just depends on your body. So we'll start first by taking the right leg back. Now this is how I prefer to get into it. If that doesn't work for you, you can start from a tabletop position, okay? You can always take that one leg out to the side. You can shift the other foot forward and you can work to sit down, especially if you're on a block, in this way. Really, it depends on you and your body. There is no right or wrong way. It just is what's the safest and the most sensible for you. So here in this position, we want to make sure that we're not doing the floss back. So we're going to lift up, scoop the tail underneath, and lower that down, and then we're going to stay there. So from the side, the difference would be, once I get into this, the flesh of my bum is quite behind me. Okay, I can sit up quite tall. Now we want to come into the scoop up. So I'm going to lean back, lift, scoop up, lower down. Okay, now from there you can stay. You can come down onto the elbows. You can come all the way down onto the back. My recommendation is that you progressively layer it, that you don't just go for, 100% right away. So just finding what works for you first. We'll spend a few minutes on each side. Now, if you feel like your knee wants to come out to the side because the thigh is tense, then try to do the best you can to have the knee slightly more forward. Maybe that means you come out, okay? If you feel like the knee wants to go out to the side because you have pain in the front of the knee, you can opt to definitely sit on the block, number 1, but don't go back so far, number 2, and don't tuck so much under, number 3. Okay, so we don't want a lot of strain in that knee unless you're feeling really confident with that and you're feeling like it's something that is really working for you, but you have to be super mindful of how that feels in the body. So those of you that do go back a bit further, again, notice if there is a big gap between your lower back and the floor. So we can come down and we can create an arch in the spine and come down, but then again, we lose and we shorten this piece here. So we want length, which is why we tilt the pubic bone up. If you're all the way down on your back and you feel like the spine is flat, the leg can relax down. You can always draw this opposite knee in towards the chest. But if the knee lifts or swings out to the side, too much. Go back a few steps. Last few breaths. Okay, take your time to just very gently push all the way up. And however you want to get out of it, I like to lean to the side to bring my leg through. And we're actually going to let the leg go long. You can give it a bit of a bounce if you want to, but then we're just going to let both legs go long, lean back on the hands, let the chin drop down, and just let the eyes close. Breathe here. Noticing the difference from one thigh to the next, from one leg to the next. Just allowing that blood flow to return back to normal through this semi-relaxed pose. Couple more breaths. Okay, let's come into the other side. So this time we'll be wrapping the left leg around, however you would like to get there. Okay, remember you can use your props underneath, and we'll wrap that left leg around. So as you come into this position, again from the side, just noticing more likely than not, you kind of are sitting upright and the flesh of the bum is behind you. We want to scoop that under. Now this step, it might not work for you very well, but we can still incorporate it to a certain degree. So it might just be that you lean and you just scoop the pubic bone up. It might not mean that you actually lift off the ground, okay? So again, that would be leaning back and just tilt the pubic bone up. You can do that by kind of pushing your front heel down into the mat. If you can lift, lean back, lift up, scoop it forward, and then lower down. Now you might stay upright here, okay? You might lower down onto 1 or 2 elbows, just being very mindful that as you lower, your front left knee is not lifting up off the mat. If it is, go back a layer or 2. The knee is not winging out to the side. If it is, go back a layer or 2. And also that you're not leaning over to the side of the straight leg, okay? That means you probably want to just come out of the depth a little bit so you can realign yourself so the focus comes back onto the top of the thigh. What you do on one side might not be the exact thing that will benefit you on the other side. So be open to each side of the body, sometimes feeling like it's a different person or it's led completely different lives. And that's part of being present in our practice, not just always trying to create symmetry for the fact of aesthetic. So see if while you're here, especially those of you that are finding it's quite tense, if you can just let your lips flutter, maybe a bit of a sigh, just allowing the whole body to come into this relaxed state as much as possible. And sighing can be a very intuitive thing that we do to offload stress and heaviness and tension. So if you have been here for some time, you might like to explore the next layer for you. I sometimes like to take the right hand in this case and kind of bring it underneath my buttocks just to sort of keep myself a bit more straight as opposed to leaning over towards the right. I find that that can really help to target the top of the thigh to a very specific place that I want. And again, if you're finding that you're leaning down onto the back, make sure that that front thigh, the knee that's bent, is not lifting up or winging out. Make sure your spine is not overly arching. And you can always bend into your bottom leg, which is your right leg in this case, or draw the knee in towards the chest. Last few breaths here. Okay, let's slowly come up. Use the help of the elbows. Again, coming out of it in your own way. Just be gentle, be mindful. You might be making noises like, just coming out of it. Again, those poses are both completely optional, okay? It's not necessary for you to go all the way back in that way. You can bounce the legs a few times. And then we'll lean back onto the hands. Let the chin drop down, let the legs relax. You can close the eyes and just breathe here. And when you're ready, lay all the way down on your back. Allow your eyes to close down completely, just finding a comfortable position to let your legs extend in, let your arms extend in, lying down on your back, letting the body come into a relaxing position, and just staying here for as long as you need to until you feel like the body has returned back to that relaxed state with a slightly altered opening, hopefully through your thighs, tops of the thighs, and through the hip flexors. Thank you so much. Have a great day.